So today I'm going to talk to you about diary management and how I sort of prioritize. Hi entrepreneurs, welcome to another episode of Entrepreneur's Diary. I'm so happy that you're here, and yes, let's dive in. So today I'm going to talk to you about diary management and how I sort of prioritize. So guys, a biggest tool for me is diary management, because I'm very invested in making sure I have things in order, because especially when you've got a non-profit, you've got a church, you've got a business, you're building another business, there's other things that you're doing, and so you're tugged and pulled into so many different places. It is important for you to know how to prioritize efficiently, and this is not just for your work, also obviously also for your personal life, but you have to prioritize. And things that I do, the night before I would write a list of things that I can remember that has to get done sort of the next day, and I will always make sure that it's done the night before, because in the morning what I don't want to do is just think of all of the stuff, and then the more I have, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting stressed out, I'm thinking so many things. And then in the morning what I tend to do is go through my emails, add in anything else, and then literally sort of number them, saying, all right, 1, 2, 3, what needs to be going out. The way I determine this is depending on the client, depending on the deadline, depending on the severity of it. So if it's something crucial, something emergency that needs to be done right away, that is the thing that I make sure the team also works on as well. And being like sort of a CEO or a business owner, you have to constantly sort of tell your team, right, prioritize this, prioritize that, do this above the other. Or in some cases, if there's a lot of change requests that are coming up, it might be the case that do the quickest things that you can finish off quicker, so that the client or even you can see a change, and then work backwards. And obviously sometimes it's better to work on the longer projects or the longer changes that's needed, and then quicken it, do the quicker ones later on, so you complete the project. But one other thing that I always do is make sure there's quality on a regular basis, because I have a team, international. One of the things that I have to do is make sure I check their quality, and sometimes I don't get the time for it. So I'm now in a process where I'm building other people to start checking quality, data, requirement. Is this how it's meant to turn out? And you can use this kind of method not only in service-based business, but you can also use it in product-based business. For example, in a product-based business, you want to make sure that your complete workflow is as it should be. Is it, for example, is the add to cart to the checkout process working correctly? Is the cross-sell working correctly? Is the automated emails working correctly? Is the abandoned cart email and SMS working properly? So these kind of daily checks, whether even if it's automated and it's a robot that you have, or whether it's humans, you need to check your work. You need to check their work. And at the end of the day, you need to sign it off as well. That's super important. And one thing I really appreciate with my staff is as soon as I give them like an emergency task, they know to drop and do. It's not always the best idea, I know, but if I'm giving them something as an emergency, I know for 100% that they will be the ones to actually execute it, and they would know that is a priority. Other than that, I don't really micromanage them. I let them get on with it. I set them weekly, monthly. They all know what they're doing in the departments anyway, so there's not much that I need to tell them, like, do this, do that. And also we have built a system where there's it's like a project management system, where they know the tasks that are coming, they know the recurring tasks, so they kind of put that into their time schedule as well. But me personally, the way I prioritize is I look at scenarios, I look at deadlines. So deadline is one of the biggest things. So if you have a deadline tomorrow and a deadline the day after, get it done what you need to, sooner. If, for example, the deadline in a week's time can be done within the next 10-20 minutes, look, I'll just get that done. And then I'll focus on this one. But if it takes longer, then I don't tend to focus on that one until that time comes in. But the good thing with me, so see, if you were a solopreneur, which is an entrepreneur who is working by themselves, like a one-man band. If you're just a one-man band, it can, priority is super important, because you would have like 1,000 different things. And most of the clients who come to me, they're solopreneurs, and they're just like, oh, I have the marketing hat on, I have the HR hat on, I have this hat on, I have that hat on. So then, I lose hours doing the simple things like posting on social media when I could have had a team. So, just prioritize what is important. And the way you prioritize is look exactly at the workload. If it's your business and you're a one-man band, look at what it is that is your task list, and does it benefit the system, not the system but the business? Does it benefit? Is it profit worthy, or is it something that's tedious and actually can be avoided? And I know in the beginning everything is needed, everything is important, but this is where I think the journey takes you, and you will start to recognize, like, this is a profit-making idea or task that I need to do, and this one can actually wait a little bit longer, but this has to be done. And then you would exactly know what needs to be worked on first. And also, when you then delegate those tasks, you actually delegate that kind of knowledge that you have in prioritizing, because that's exactly what I'm doing now. So I'm teaching the guys to make sure that they understand how they should prioritize, because in the long run, guys, I don't want to be sitting there going, oh, do this, do this, do this. But I have opened it up for my staff to come to me at any time and say, look, I've got this and this and this, can you prioritize it to me, and why? And then I usually would be like, do this and this and this and this first. And the more I do it with them, the more they understand what's in my head and what I would obviously deem as prioritizing correctly. Obviously it's a learning curve, you guys. I didn't know this from day one, but being aware of it yourself is the first step for you to understand and use the tools around you, guys. Like I said, calendar management for me is like a big thing. I even have a focus time in my calendar that is blocked off. Nobody talk to me, nobody speak to me. I need to get on with my work. I need to focus. I need to wind down. I need to start thinking. Because if you're like got 1,000 things, and this is the one thing I did wrong at the beginning. I always went from one meeting to next meeting, next meeting, next meeting, and then by the end of the day I had like a huge to-do list and hardly any time. So that's why I ended up staying so late trying to do that, because I like the fact that my calendar was all like in pretty little colors, one after another, and I loved interacting with people. But the thing is, you need to also get time to wind down and put things on paper or put things on email. Get the work done as well. Take that little break time so you'll be more efficient. And obviously, again, if you have a deadline that day and your calendar is full and you got a lot of tasks, or you've got a lot of meetings set up, you're obviously not going to achieve that. So yeah, I hope you guys have learned something today. Let me know how you prioritize, what softwares you use. Please do, because I would love to know what you guys are doing, and if there's something that I can learn. So yeah. Thank you so much for joining again. Make sure you like, share and subscribe to this channel, and keep the comments coming, keep the messages coming. It's so good to connect with you guys. Thank you.